Well, since we this week did not have a Wednesday Night War, but we are going to talk about AEW and NXT, how they did when they're not head to head together. It's going to be interesting, but we're also going to review both shows, see what was cool, what was kind of awkward, or however you want to call it. All of that is coming up on this episode of Deleted WrestleZone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up. 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 Get up, get up.
Welcome to Deleted WrestleZone, all things pro wrestling from AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, the National Wrestling Alliance, many promotions, wrestlers, and championships. I'm your host, J-Rod here. So, as you all know now, the title is called AEW versus NXT. Now, reason I put that title that way is because we did not have a Wednesday Night War. Reason behind that, 2 weeks ago, it's already been been announced about a while ago. The AEW were changing their times only temporarily because of the NBA playoffs and finals that they were having. First show they had was on a Saturday, and then the following week, which was last week, was on a Thursday. This past Wednesday, it was on the same time slot. However, NXT, on the other hand, did remain on the respected Wednesday night slot, except for this week, they actually moved to Tuesday due to the NHL playoffs or whatever they were throwing, from what I understand. But there has been a compelling argument about all of this. According to Brian Alvarez from The Wrestling Observer, it appears that both shows have done pretty much well for each other, even when not head-to-head together. Now, you ask yourselves this obvious question: how's that even possible? Well, it's proven time and again that there are fans who watch both shows, and to be honest with you, I'm amongst them. Now, for all you WWE haters who watch this, I don't care what you guys think. I don't care if you guys tell me WWE is better. Well, here's the thing. I don't watch Raw or SmackDown that much. I only watch NXT because I find that is the most better brand amongst those. But I compare what happens between NXT and AEW Dynamite. That's always been the thing for me. But however, let's try to compare this week's ratings, how they did as individual shows. Let's start with NXT, since they happen on Tuesday, which they call Super Tuesday for them. NXT received the views of 849,000 views with the rate of 0.26 in the 18 to 49 demographic. That's not bad. However, yesterday on AEW Dynamite, they received 928,000 views with the rate of 0.36 in the 18 to 49 demographic ratings. Now, all of you ask yourself, wait a minute, how it's still higher? Here's the thing. It doesn't matter right now. Both shows are doing great. But however, there has been talk saying, can NXT move to a different time slot? Well, to be honest with you, that would be a good strategic move. Not because I say so, it's because some people believe, why are there butting heads? Now, I will explain this for all of you guys, not to take too much time on this. I'll explain all of this. Why is they don't do that? As you know, Vince McMahon is the kind of man who will not tolerate any promotion try to steal his thunder. It's always been that case. Before AEW first appeared, he was threatened by the existence of Cody's popularity. Same thing with Hangman Page, Marty Scurll, the Young Bucks, even Kenny Omega. And that's why he tried to sign them, because they were a threat to the business that he believed is the right one. And that's always been that case for Vince. But with AEW now being around, people saying, why couldn't they just leave NXT in the network? Reason is, they will not tolerate AEW stealing the spotlight. It's always been the case for them. So Vince thought having NXT being a live broadcast show instead of being on the network, because they normally, in the past, they pre-tape every show, but they don't stream it until Wednesday. And they have always done that. And they use that so far. But until AEW announced, okay, we're going to have it on Wednesday, they decided, we're going to do the same thing. And that's always been. Now, NXT did start out strong with millions of views, but however, people were irritated because they only showed 1 hour for 2 weeks because of the season, the series finale of Suits, if you watch that show. But when AEW came around, they won the viewerships and the ratings. Now, there were times and occasions we have witnessed NXT have won the viewership. Some of you W fans probably remember saying to yourselves like, yeah, beat that, AEW, beat that, you pieces of shit. Well, frankly, it's not exactly how you guys predict. I'm sorry, W fans, to remind you this. Because it turns out it's the ratings that allow them to continue being. People are still shocked that AEW are continuing their broadcast shows till 2023. You probably, for all you W fans, like, how's that even possible? They won the 18 to 49 demographic ratings. That's been the key thing that happened. Now, for Vince, he must have realized in the back of his mind, the viewerships don't mean anything anymore. It's all about it's all about the ratings. They realize the viewership doesn't mean anything anymore. Now they're starting to see they're becoming more popular. They're getting more popularity in the ratings. And now, if you heard what Chris Jericho called himself, the demo god. He was showing them AEW succeeding. Even if you think you can get rid of them that easily. That's what Jericho's telling Vince. You're not going to get rid of us that easily. They even tried to stop counter program, but it was still not enough to stop them. But now it appears, and I can agree with Brian Alvarez, they are doing far more better without going head to head. But like I keep saying to everyone, Vince McMahon is not going to tolerate AEW trying to steal his thunder. That's always been his ego. You see, for years, Vince McMahon has always been trying to say, no, that promotion sucks, they don't got good talent. Nah, they don't got good talent. But what's happening? Things are changing, and he can't accept it because he believes that the wrestling business is his way. But in reality, who said that that's his way? So that's the reason this whole thing has happened. Now, for all of you guys, I'm going to leave you guys this, and I want you to comment this back to me. Do you believe that WWE should move NXT on Tuesdays because it done better without it? Now, for all of you AEW fans are saying, wait a minute, why couldn't they move themselves on a Tuesday or anything? Well, originally they did, but however, it was going to conflict with the sports on either Tuesday or Thursday. And plus, they don't want to go to head on Mondays and Fridays against WWE. So Wednesday we'll have to do, but they're fine with that. So that's how it's going to be. So I'm going to leave it as that for now for all of you guys. So please comment this. Ask me this. Do you believe WWE should move NXT to another day and the same time slot, but a different day? If it is, we're good with that. But if not, well, Vince screwed himself over this, and he should have known better. But for now, let's start with NXT. What happened since they were the first show on Tuesday, even though Tuesday, and then we'll go with the AEW. So let's go with that. All right. First match of the night was a street fight 6-man tag team match between Legado del Fantasma, Santos Escobar, Joaquin Wilde, and Raul Mendoza versus the newly crowned NXT Tag Team Champions Tyler Breeze and Fandango, Breezango, and teaming up with the King of Swerve, Isaiah Swerve Scott. Now, this feud has gone so deep many times over. As you know, a week ago, the Breezango have won the NXT Tag Team titles. Now, this match was a blown street fight using trash cans. My favorite moment before this other big thing happened is when Fandango brought in a fire extinguisher and told these guys to cool off. So Breezango just that is one of my favorite moments of that. But the thing that changed it a little bit in this match The former NXT Tag Team Champions, Eichner and Bartel of the Imperium, are still a bit bitter, losing to a couple of guys who they believe do not respect the mat, because to them, the mat is sacred. So it became a 5-on-1 scenario when they already took out Fandango and Scott, so they took their frustrations out on Breezango. So when that happened, unaware to them, Scott and Fandango had a forklift lift them so high to jump over on these knuckleheads so well. It was the most amazing moment of my life. I enjoyed it. But the way this match won was Scott making the pin against Santo Escobar. So Breezango and Scott won the match. So this is going to be interesting. Hopefully Scott does get another opportunity of the NXT Cruiserweight Championship, because they need to get that title away from Santo Escobar. Next thing we have is Tegan Nox talking about how she first met Candice LeRae and how she felt about her new way following her husband, the Gargano way. So as you know, because of that, Tegan has been best friends with her, but she wants to know what's her deal. Now, as you recall a while back, Candice and Johnny Gargano targeted Mia Yim and Keith Lee, but Tegan Nox got involved in a little funny moment video that Mia and Keith started. But Tegan was only just doing a small part. It wasn't a direct insult to them. She was just playing a part that kind of makes it a bit more funny. And Candice believed that she crossed the line. But Tegan is really willing to talk to her. Like, hash it out. Try to bury it. But however, Candice had her match. She was facing against Katie Catanzaro. All of a sudden, she won the match. I'm just going to skip to that. But she did stated that she's inviting Tegan to her house for dinner on her to hash it out. But Candice believes that Tegan needs to let go of this whole crap that she believes in and accept the Gargano way. Tegan doesn't believe in that. But however, we're going to see next week on another Tuesday episode, see how this was going to go out. And I can't wait to see it. Next thing we have is Rhea Ripley sending a message to Mercedes Martinez. If you recall, 2 weeks ago, there was a tag team match where Rhea Ripley, along with Shotzi Blackheart, faced off Aaliyah and Mercedes Martinez. Rhea Ripley powerbombed Mercedes Martinez outside in the concrete, thinking her business with them is over. But however, Mercedes got her revenge a week ago during her another tag team match with Rhea Ripley and Io Shirai. And it basically, Rhea was not too happy. She's basically pissed for getting involved. So Rhea Ripley came up. Since she wants to keep fighting with her, she wants her in a steel cage match. Now, I'm going to give her response because I was like a little later. She gladly accepted the match. So this is going to be one ballsy match to watch. So hope you guys get to watch it. Next thing we have is Bronson Reed versus Timothy Thatcher. Now, this match is more like who should have been the person to challenge Damian Priest for the North American title. Now, however, Bronson Reed has beaten Damian Priest before, but this is before Priest won the ladder match for the North American title. But however, last week, Timothy Thatcher became the first challenger to face Damian Priest. Bronson Reed, on the other hand, was commenting about how it should have been him, but he got disrespected with the shocking return of Austin Theory. So he tells him that he will get a title shot until he's in the age of 55, even though Austin Theory, he thinks he's better and he's also a cocky dude. He got bitch slapped by Bronson Reed. So that's what really happened. So this match was kind of interesting, but however, I'm going to skip a bit ahead what happened towards the end. Everything was going right for Bronson, but things got out of hand when Austin Theory returned the favor, costing Bronson Reed the match. It was more like an eye for an eye type of scenario, and Timothy Thatcher won the match by making the submission move on Bronson Reed. So it looks like we may get to see another feud, but this time it's Bronson Reed versus Austin Theory. So this is going to be one heck of a feud. Next, we have, for the hour-long, 60-minute, 4-way, 60-minute Iron Man match. As you know, a week ago, Karrion Kross had relinquished the NXT title due to an injury that he obtained at NXT TakeOver almost a week and a half ago. So since his shoulder got separate, he had no other choice but to relinquish it. But as soon as that happened, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Big Al, and of course, General Manager William Regal had to scramble wide away what to do now since the title has been vacant. So they came up with the interesting plan. Let's have the 4 pillars of NXT face off in a 60-minute Iron Man match for the NXT Championship. So they picked Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, Adam Cole, and the Prince, Finn Balor. So this was a great moment, but however, this has never been done before, a 4-way match in a 60-minute Iron Man match. So basically anything can happen. But, like any other Iron Man, if you ever seen matches for 60 minutes, there's also a crucial part. The first 30 minutes, what they do is they try to ensure there's no try to get out of the pinfall. But as soon as we reach the halfway mark, everybody started having one fall apiece. Gargano, Ciampa, Cole, and Balor. So the next 30 minutes or so is the real question. Who is going to make the final pinfall? That is something, it's so crazy, you know you don't want to miss out. But the more it was getting closer and closer to the clock ticking, Finn Balor made his second pinfall where he coup de grace Tommaso Ciampa, earning him a second pinfall. But however, unknown to him, Adam Cole comes out and hits him with the lights out, making Adam Cole his second pinfall. But however, the match ended where it's now a tie, 2-2, Balor and Cole. However, Cole thought he won the match, but he didn't. It became into a draw. But however, General Manager William Regal came out and tried to make this as simple as possible to finish off. Since both these men got 2 wins, they're going to finish it off in a 1-fall match. So basically, next week on Super Tuesday, it's going to be Finn Balor and Adam Cole for the NXT Championship. Whoever wins this match, it's going to be the next NXT champion. And I can't wait to see it. Hope you guys can't wait. But right now, I'm done with this NXT thing. Hope you guys enjoyed everything I reviewed. Hope you like what you saw on NXT. Right now, let's move on to AEW Dynamite. Alright, so we're only 2 days away from All Out. This is the last AEW Dynamite before we jump into All Out, which I'm excited to see. Great matches they're going to take place. But right now, let's go review everything from start to finish on this episode of AEW Dynamite. First match, it was Santana and Ortiz facing off against the Best Friends. Their rivalry has been very, very, physical, attacking each other. This all began weeks ago when the Best Friends beaten Santana and Ortiz. They did not take that loss lightly, so they decided to take it out on Trent's mom, Sue's van. They completely trashed it. And of course, they were trying to see if they can beat them, so they apologized to Sue for what they did. However, Santana and Ortiz are looking at, what is this? Are we 10 years old? That's kind of like one of those facial expressions that gets me off on that. But it's kind of true, but it's funny. But however, this match was executed great. At first, it started out with the Best Friends not wasting any time with Santana and Ortiz while they're coming out. They decided they're going to attack them while they come out and just start with that. But however, it did not go that way. They were still fighting outside the ring. But the turning point of the match happened is when Trent actually got pushed to the steel steps that was moved away from the corner and hit his back. Now, when Ortiz was taking care of Trent, Santana somehow knew there was a baton or a nightstick right there waiting for him. So he whacked Trent, picking up the victory. But the referee did suspect something, but he did not see it. So Santana tried to say that he hit him with the elbow. So, yeah, right. Then we have a little speech from MJF, saying how he's going to be, John Moxley, taking away the title to prove that he is the future of AEW. But however, Lee Johnson, one of his flunkies, kind of bothered him, but he didn't mean to. He was telling him there's a problem, that his attorney, Mark Sterling, is checking out of the match with John Moxley. And MJF was not too pleased with that. Because here's the deal that happened. If Mark Sterling does not get in the match with him on Dynamite, MJF will not get a title opportunity at All Out. So MJF is desperate to have that match. Desperate to take away that title from John Moxley. That was been his key point ever since he had him sign the contract to ban the paradigm shift on All Out. So basically, we'll get to that, what happens. Next thing we have is an 8-man tag team match. Now, this is an interesting match. We have SCU, Christopher Daniels and Frankie Kazarian teaming with Private Party, facing off against Jurassic Express's Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, along with Marco Stunt, with the Young Bucks. Now, whoever wins this match, that team will face off against each other at All Out. Now, everything was going great. Everybody was coming out. But the Young Bucks came out with a different type of attitude. They still haven't gone over what happened a week ago when Hangman Page cost them the match a week ago at the Gauntlet. They were angry with him for getting in the way. Telling him, were you afraid of facing them? And they kicked them out of the Elite. But much of the match, the Young Bucks were like tagging each other out in. Or whenever they try to tag either Jungle Boy or Luchasaurus, they tag themselves in without their consent. Or like when they had everything under control. So that's been like their point. They've been more aggressive than they ever were. They were upset that they can't believe that this is getting out of, that they were losing this way. But they picked up the victory, but they did not stick around to celebrate. They just took off because they're still angry what Hangman Page did. Next thing we see is Jake Hager with a camera crew going inside the locker room where Orange Cassidy is staying. As you know, Jericho is set to have a match against Joey Janela. So Jake Hager had a message to Orange Cassidy from Jericho telling him that he would like to have him at ringside during his match. Now, as you know, Orange Cassidy, he has nothing to say. He just stays quiet. He doesn't talk that much. So that's how it ended with him for that particular episode. Now, then we see Tully giving a little pep talk to FTR, going now into All Out, hoping they get to win the AEW Tag Team titles for finally proving a point that they've been saying for a long time, that they are the best tag team in the world, not the Young Bucks, since they don't got the titles. That's always been their focal point. So that's how it started. But the next thing we see is an interview with Kenny Omega. Now, Tony Schiavone wants to know what's going on with Hangman. Now, Kenny's full aware what's been happening, where Hangman Page cost the Bucks their match. But he did suspect that FTR has been getting into his head the more. Now, he wasn't buying to their peace offering, even though Tully's right there, because he's a real deceiving guy. Here comes Hangman Page, try to give a piece of his mind, but he kept getting into they're still getting into his head, and Kenny's been telling that. So the more they were trying to get to that, they try to piss him off, and then he get into the face of FTR. But Kenny left Hangman hanging. But the real question now is with Kenny. Is this the beginning where now Hangman and Kenny fall apart and we get to see the cleaner back? We just got to wait and see this coming Saturday. Then we have an interview with Jericho, of course, saying that he's going to deal with Joey Janela, make an example out of him, what he's going to do to Orange Cassidy this Saturday at the Mimosa match. As you know, Orange Cassidy did show up. Now, I'm going to skip ahead on this match because the best moment happened is when Joey Janela tried to jump off the ring ropes back into the ring, but Jericho applied the code breaker on him and picking up the victory. However, Orange Cassidy made a beeline towards Jericho to try to take him out, but of course, here comes Hagar, as always, trying to protect Jericho. Then Sonny Kiss shows up, trying to save Joey Janela. But at the same time, when Orange Cassidy was about to throw the Superman punch, Jake Hager pulled him out. And of course, Orange Cassidy pulled out a bottle of the bubbly. He popped it open, but he spilled it. You know, wasting good bubbly, as people would say. I never drank it. I don't know if you guys have. Next thing we have is Sammy Guevara doing his little cue card stint, saying how he's going to defeat Matt Hardy. If Matt Hardy loses, he's out of AEW. That he said that he will delete Matt Hardy and that he will forever be the Spanish God. But however, unaware to him, right behind him, on top of him, is Matt Hardy with his own cue card saying that he will be broken at All Out. So this is going a verbal back and forth. But you ask yourself this question, is he really going to leave? I'm like, I don't know. I mean, it's too early for him to leave AEW. But if he does say it will be, there's still some unfinished business that he will get to do with AEW that he never got the chance with WWE. Then we see is Team Taz. Taz with Brian Cage and Ricky Stark coming out speaking about the Battle Royal that's taking place at All Out. Now, as you must know, this is a 21-man Casino Battle Royal match. Whoever wins the match will either face MJF or Jon Moxley for a title shot. Now, Taz has hopes that either one of these guys, Brian Cage or Ricky Stark, will win the match. But however, there's others that believe that they would win it. One of them was Lance Archer. So, Jake Roberts trying to assure him that he needs to shut up, that he has believed that Lance Archer can win. Here comes Eddie Kingston along with the Butcher and the Blade and the Lucha Brothers. And then here comes Spears and Tully Blanchard. This is one of those brawls that took place that's more like a preview what's going to happen this Saturday. So I'm excited to see it. I hope you guys too. Then the next match we have is a women's match. We have Thunder Rosa facing off against Serena Deeb. Now I'm going to pause here for a little bit and explain who Serena Deeb is, if you guys don't know who she is. If you recall years ago, there was a woman who in fact joined CM Punk on his Straight Edge Society. And she shaved her head right in front of Punk. Yeah, that's her, Serena Deeb. We haven't seen her for a long time, but however, I did find out information yesterday. Serena Deeb returned to the WWE in 2017, but not as a wrestler, but as a trainer at the Performance Center. But the reason she made an appearance in AEW was because she was amongst the 30-plus employees that were released by WWE on April 15, or as we like to call, the Black Wednesday. So it's great to see her there. I have to say she really did a good job, facing against Thunder Rosa. But of course, the match went to Thunder Rosa. So it's more like a preview what's going to happen. Do we believe that Thunder Rosa could win the AEW title? Maybe. Basically, it turns out that AEW and NWA are now sharing talent for the time being, even though NWA are now aligned with the United Wrestling Network. I don't know how that's going to be. I don't know what kind of deal that they have because we haven't seen any of their wrestlers making an appearance. We do know that Ricky Starks and Eddie Kingston are no longer with NWA. So that is it. So let's move on. Now we get a little message from Jon Moxley talking about MJF, saying that he's not going to let him get away with becoming the AEW World Champion, since MJF called him a dictator. So that's always been one of those things that happen. So it goes like that. So it ends right there. Then we jump in with an interview with Big Swole saying that what's her stipulation against Britt Baker at All Out. So it's going to be part of the buy-in, but the match she chose is called Tooth and Nail, which she will appear at Britt Baker's job. So from what I understand now, that was announced today, it's going to be a cinematic match, kind of like the Boneyard match, the Firefly Funhouse, the Swamp match, all of that. But what happened next is some pizza delivery girl, who it was in fact Reba, was distracting Big Swole, and Britt Baker attacked her with the clutches. And of course, she applied her signature move with the grab on the mouth, trying to prove that she will beat her, that she is the true role model. But that's gonna be in the buy-in. So that means you guys get to see that on YouTube, because they normally put the buy-in first, or it's free at the BRNR Live. So get ready to see that. Then we go to the main event with MJF's attorney, Mark Sterling, who comes out, but he intended to run like a chicken with his head cut off, who did not want to face Jon Moxley, but MJF made sure Wardlow gets him in the ring, because he knows if Mark Sterling does not face him, MJF will not get his title shot at All Out. As for Moxley, on the other hand, this entire match, he's been toying with him, messing with his head. I thought it was pretty funny. So, I just loved it. He's like, try to move out of the way, throwing some punches, or doing that type of thing. That was pretty fun. But of course, he did apply the paradigm shift, allowing him to win. But however, Wardlow attacked him. And I knew right from the start MJF was hiding something. Even Moxley said it himself. He's hiding something. MJF was not injured. He was a lying weasel. He lied. And MJF thought he is smart to remove. But here's the thing that Excalibur made a good, valid point. If you recall what happened at Fight for the Fallen, Taz made a technical argument that there was no way Moxley could apply the paradigm shift against Brian Cage. Moxley said, okay, maybe you're right. Maybe I won't be. But you know what I'll do? I'll target the arm that he got himself injured. And he used that. He said exactly what he did. Now, however, when MJF was beating him, using the diamond ring that he got, and spilling blood all over him, saying that he is the future of the company. Now, here's what the compelling argument is. If MJF loses, then he has to go and think what he did wrong. Was it a mistake to remove the paradigm shift if he lost? The answer to that is yes. Because Moxley did state it. You're giving him an opportunity to figure out how to beat him. That's exactly what he's going to do. He did that with Brian Cage. What makes it so certain that it won't happen to him? Well, we'll just gotta wait and see what's gonna happen this Saturday at All Out. But right now, let's end it before I go with the final thoughts. So I'll be right back. Okay, let me give you guys my final thoughts. As I said before earlier in the episode about does NXT should move to another time slot, I feel they should. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like NXT. It's even better than Raw and SmackDown. I've always been opinionated about that. I mean, I got bored with Raw and SmackDown for years when it hasn't been the same, but I like the idea how NXT's been, under the leadership of Triple H, And frankly, there have been some flaws. I mean, we know that they've been unable to have a strong women's champion because Vince took the good ones but that's how it is. Some wrestlers were good that I did like, even though some are now moved to the main roster recently with Keith Lee. But the real question is it good business to have NXT on a Tuesday? Well, to be honest with you, yes, for some people, because I think some people are like, if you look at the WWE fans, they're very hardcore. They can say AEW is nothing but pieces of trash, they're nothing, they got no talent, they got no They only say that because they never watch it. Me, I'm very opinionated about what I watch. Like I said, I don't like WWE, the Raw and SmackDown. They haven't been the same for years. But I have enjoyed NXT. But do I believe they should move the Tuesdays? Or another day? Well, yes. Because it could help them. Because I keep saying this over and over. For all you WWE fans, you go out there saying whenever they win the viewership, you goes, yeah, beat that AEW, we beat you in the viewership. But however, it's AEW who gets the last laugh. Because they kept winning the 18 to 49 demographic ratings. Now, for you guys, WWE fans who are trying to say, but the ratings are not important. If that's true, then WWE are self-aware that they haven't been winning the ratings. Because they're well aware. One of their initial plans they want to do, if you guys haven't heard, I mentioned this on previous episode, even the same thing on the podcast, where they want to sign Tessa because they believe if they put her in NXT, it could help the ratings. But however, those are not arguing but making opinionated facts. Is having Tessa in WWE good for business? Because we know she has a lot of baggage in her life that she caused. I mean, that's always been the case. But I get it. But I think the problem is this. Vince has tried to find a way to shut down AEW completely. He tried many ways as possible, counter program, but they seem whatever he throws at them, they're still around. But for all you WWE fans are saying all it is. But if you guys don't know this was announced on Twitter. It turns out Tony Khan invited NXT fans who actually attend the NXT shows at Full Sail to come down to Daly's place to check out AEW Dynamite this past Wednesday. For you guys who are watching this, you probably say, what? Why would they do that? They're a bunch of traitors. No, because they are opening their eyes. You could enjoy all wrestling promotions products. I watch all of them. Why can't you guys? Because Vince is telling you guys, we got the best promo, we got the best champion, we got the best everything. You can back it up what you're saying, but it's the fans who makes the last say. Because like these guys, the Square Circle Psychobabble always says, the fans always win. Do I believe that? The answer to that? Yes. Because they always win. I like what I see in NXT. I like what I see in AEW Dynamite. But it is what it is. The ratings are not going to change in NXT favors. But however, I said this once before. I want you guys to leave me a comment on this. Do you believe WWE should move NXT to a different day? Keep the same time slot, but a different day. But all of you guys for all you guys, why can't the AEW move to a different day? Well, they tried already. But that was the call by TNT, the network. TNT made the call that they want them on Wednesday because they don't want to go head to head with the basketball season that was going on at the time, which is understandable, which is true. You don't want to lose against those guys, and that has always been the case. So TNT were being smart with this one. But however, if the USA Network are okay of having NXT to be on Tuesday, then that's fine. But the one person that may have a problem with it is Vince McMahon. He has the final say, but I kept saying this all the time. Vince will not tolerate another promotion stealing his thunder, even if that promotion is AEW. It's all what he has to say. Now, does he need to put his ego aside? Yes, but he won't. That's what it is. So, like I said, I'm asking you guys this question and leave a comment. Should NXT move to a different day? If you believe it, if the answer is yes, leave a comment. I want to hear your opinions, what you have to say, because I would love to hear your opinions. So I hope you guys enjoy this episode right now. I know I talk too much, but that's how I get excited when it comes to this. Since we did not have no Wednesday Night War, but I did enjoy talking about both AEW and NXT on 2 different days in the same time slot. But we'll see what happens next week. But for now, hope you guys get to watch All Out this Saturday. Hope you guys paid for it this Saturday, or if you have another way to watch it. But I will review that the following day or on Monday. That on Sunday or Monday. That all depends how my day is. But for now, I must bid all of you adieu. So goodbye. Mwah. And have a nice day. Bang!